dead man walking.
Mom, he has to wake up. You can't fly this plane.
Mayday! This is 5619er Yankee. We're in trouble.
So when was the last time you were really thirsty? Do you ever feel like life is like that? It's just this big search for something you know is out there somewhere. Because haven't you ever wondered why this world is so messed up? Why can't we just get along with each other? Why is it that the good times don't seem to last and the bad times never stop? And the things we desire don't ultimately satisfy us? Why is it that we can't find lasting joy and peace, but there seems to be an abundance of frustration and anger and bitterness and loneliness and pain in this world?
我讲了这么多次，你干什么？啊？你干什么？你不要动我东西！离婚！给我离开我！我不要你们管你，走啊！
You know, most people think of church as a place they go to confess. They step into a booth and confess their sins to a priest, or they talk to a minister about the mistakes they've made. But I don't know, maybe we have this reversed. Maybe the church needs to confess. And maybe there's some things that we need to own, some mistakes that we've made. And so instead of asking you to come to church and confess your sins, would you allow me to represent Christians, to represent the church, and to confess some things to you? For many people, the church has given this impression that Jesus is a guy who refuses to smile, hates rock and roll music, wears his hair short and his ties tight, and that the scriptures are these ancient documents that have absolutely nothing to do with our world today. And I confess that some of you were going through some tough times in your life. You were discouraged and frustrated. You came to church, but what you experienced did nothing to give you hope or peace. Maybe some of you came to church and you were lonely, discouraged, and confused, but we were too busy with our traditions, too caught up in teaching our lesson, singing the songs that we knew and you didn't, that we just didn't notice your pain. And I'm sorry for that. You know, if the church can't comfort the brokenhearted, if it can't put its arm around the woman who chokes on her loneliness, or give strength to the addict who every day struggles with his addiction, if the church can't be a family to the widow or give hope to the single mom who just feels overwhelmed, if it can't give me some peace and some joy and some purpose for this journey of life, then call it something else. But don't call it church. Love is a word a lot of us have learned to be leery of. It's not that we haven't tried to find satisfaction at the well of romantic love we have. And yeah, it satisfies us for a while, temporarily. But I think most of us have become jaded. Because our feelings start to fade, or the person we love lets us down, and when we love, we just love more carefully. We lower our expectations, we put up our guard, because deep down we know this is going to disappoint us too. Most of us want to be a part of something that will last. We want to make a difference with our lives, and so we pour ourselves into our job, trying to get some recognition or earn the right promotion. We might even volunteer for some good social cause. But I don't know. Do you think we'll be remembered? Let me ask you this question. Do you know the names of your great-grandparents? Don't feel bad if you don't. Very few people do. So Solomon just points out this very simple truth, that in a few years from now, nobody's going to remember you and me. Maybe the word that best describes you is satisfied. Honestly, you don't feel this inner thirst. Instead, you feel challenged and satisfied, fulfilled, happy, at least most of the time. But what if you've settled? What if there is this whole other level of satisfaction out there? I don't pretend to understand this. I'm not sure I can explain it, but I have experienced this power in my life. And I know that once you experience this power, once you connect to it, your life will never be the same again. And maybe you're just convinced you won't find anything, but perhaps if you'll really search, you'll discover what you've been looking for all along.